Yeah,
What's been evident in his performance?
we've not started well in the first two games, and we talked a lot this week about better start. I thought that they went up and were really on the front foot from the beginning. Um, and just overall the intensity throughout the game. Feel like we have some really good players, but if you don't match or better the other team's intensity, then you don't even really get a chance to show what you can do. So I felt like tonight they started off really well. Felt like we were the aggressors, and I think it just put us in a good mindset. And really, the energy and engagement throughout the game, I thought was fantastic. And I think to be successful, that has to be the standard. It has to be every day. So um, really proud of the effort for 97 minutes or whatever it was. I do think that.
You mentioned on Friday that through the first two games, perhaps the engagement levels hasn't been the best. I wonder how much of today's result and performance was a result of increased engagement.
I think a lot of it. I just think that this is a tough place to play. This is a very good team, and they're very good here. So we couldn't not have this approach. We couldn't not take this approach and expect to have some success. And I thought that the guys absolutely brought it from the very beginning. And, I think our engagement has been okay, and certainly in certain points in the previous two games. But I think the intensity and the intent from the very beginning just felt different tonight. And because of that engagement, that intentionality in the things that they're doing, I thought they put themselves in a good position to win the game.
Two goals conceded on set pieces last week. Three, if you want to include the penalty.
Mhm.
How did you find the team's defending tonight on set pieces?
Uh, I mean, I'd have to go back and look. Obviously, we didn't give anything up, so we're happy about that. This is a really big team and very good in the air. I think their engagement on the set pieces was incredible, and just seen throughout the game. Set pieces, second phase set pieces. You see guys throwing their bodies on the line to block things, and it was just one of those things where it felt like they would bend, but they weren't going to break. Certainly, it's a performance to be proud of, but certainly we know that we have things that we continue to work on and get better at. But with regard to our engagement last week on the set pieces versus this week, I think it was night and day.
I thought Benjamin was tremendous tonight. Maybe I'm overstating that. It'd be interesting to hear your take.
I thought he was very good. He he plays almost exactly as I would have expected based on watching him, scouting him, seeing the type of player he is. And again, this is a tough place. You come in and you're starting in a new country on a new team in a new league for the first time, and again against a very good team. And I thought he just showed his professionalism throughout the whole game, start to finish. I just felt like he's a very composed center back who you can tell this was his first game. I think his experience really showed tonight, and I think it's really commendable. I just think it's hard to get thrown into a new league. I mean, he got here; he wasn't even in the country a week ago. So for him to adapt as quickly as he did and continue to adapt through the game, I think speaks volumes to his professionalism.
We'll go online with Neil. Go ahead.
Thank you. Congratulations, Robin, and nice to speak to you again. It's been a while. I wanted to ask about Walker. I'm sure it's a little early to get any kind of update, but did he take himself out, or was it from a medical decision on the sideline?
Yeah, it was from the collision he had earlier, maybe 5, 7 minutes before. I'm not sure exactly the time. And I think he just started to have some adverse effects based on it. And I would think based on his concussion history last year, they didn't want to take a chance. But talking to him afterwards, he feels really good, which is a very positive sign.
Good to hear. Thank you.
You bet.
Go ahead, Benedict.
Thank you. Robin, just wondering maybe your thoughts overall on the 3-game road trip and how important it is to go back home now coming off a win.
Uh, starting on the road, the 3 games we knew was going to be a tough ask. I think we put ourselves in a hole in both games. And in the end, we saw the quality, the character, all that in both games, but still managed to fall short. And I felt like tonight, and again, this is a group that we're still having players come in, we're still getting used to each other and getting to know each other, figuring out what we're best at, what we're, things we need to continue to work on. And I feel like you feel this wave of it coming, of us becoming more and more like a team. So if you take the second half of last game, which is a really good effort, a really cohesive team effort, and obviously we didn't win the game, but the second half of last week was good. And throughout the week of training, they were very engaged and very good. And then to come here and win on the road when we knew we had a tough task. We had 3 games on the road. We didn't do as well in the first 2 as we thought. And I thought they just buckled down and showed a lot about their character tonight. I think it's a great platform, obviously, to go home and have all these games at home. So we should feel good about what we've done, but also understand that we still have to work.
We'll go next to James Grossi.
Thanks, Nick. Hey, Robin.
Hey, James.
I just wanted to get you on sort of what Daniel's brought to it. I thought the goal came about really well today, and he's brought a real directness to some of the attack.
That's actually a very, very good way to put it. As someone who has primarily been a winger, you wouldn't think of a winger as being so goal-oriented, but his timing of his runs is excellent. He's very, very goal-oriented in terms of how he approaches the game. Not in a selfish way, because you certainly see him get into crossing positions and hit good crosses. But I do think that there's a difference between wingers or attacking players who are good in the build and good setup people versus that and the ability to go, not even the ability, this burning desire to get to goal. And I think what we've seen from Daniel, we played him as a winger, we played him on the right, we played him on the left, we kind of played him in the pockets. And wherever he plays, that word you just used, I think is really, really appropriate, that he's very direct. And he thinks about running to the goal. Wherever his runs start, he's generally thinking about running to the goal. So he opened up tonight, a great ball got played into him, and just the way he took it, he looked so composed in that moment that it's like he'd done that a million times. If you watch him over his career, that's been really kind of a signature goal for him. So he has brought a level of directness, a level of desire to get to goal. We think about the one that Derek scored in Dallas. It looked similar, where he picks a ball up and there's no hesitation. He's going to goal. And he hits a shot, gets a rebound, and then Derek taps that one in or finishes it quite well. But it's the same sort of thing you saw tonight on the goal, where if he has an opportunity to get to goal, he is not even thinking twice about it. And his run was so determined and his finish was so composed. We're very excited about having Daniel and what he's going to do for us this year.
We'll head next to Ben Steiner.
Hi, Robin. Thanks for doing this. How important is it to pick up a win like this before introducing Josh to the competitive group?
I think it's important to pick up a win like this for our group, for the entire team. When you work this hard, you want to reward yourself. And even the way they dug in at the very end is so important, because it's about establishing what our identity is going to be and what our character is going to be like as a group. And I think for us to come through these 3 games, obviously the last one being the most positive one in almost every fashion, I think it just sets us up for this long homestand we have. And this is a group tonight that did really, really well and then you feel like you add Josh and we've got other guys coming back from injuries, that we will only get stronger.
We'll go back to James.
Thanks again, Nick. Robin, I was going to ask a little bit about what keeping that clean sheet does for the side's belief, but I think you sort of touched on that right there. So maybe just your thoughts on Emilio. We saw our longest look at him today. I thought we've seen him grow a little bit through the first 2 appearances, but what do you think today?
I think he's showing he's a really good player. And again, as a young player, you talked about Ben and his experience and coming in as a new player in the league. Ben has a long body of work behind him to prepare him for this. Emilio is very young, and to have him come out of his comfort zone in his own environment, to come here, adapt as quickly as he has just been a sponge in terms of picking things up. And so tonight he gets an opportunity to start, and I thought he competed really, really well. Again, these defenders are very good defenders, big, strong defenders. And I thought he competed really well. He showed the ability to battle with the big players, but he also showed how tidy his feet can be, and also his game intelligence. So I thought it was a good outing for him, and it really bodes well for us for the future.
One final question.
Can I ask about Zayn, because it's a first start for him since last June? How big of a performance was it from him today? And I wonder if it almost feels like a new signing, just considering he only played 10 games last year.
Yeah, I thought he was very solid and showed comfort level with the ball, showed good ideas with the ball. Defensively, he was intense, won his challenges that he had to get into. And just all throughout the night, he had a pretty composed performance. And that's the one thing that you know about Zayn. In spite of his age, he is young. He's a very composed sort of defender. Obviously, he had some really good moments last year before he got hurt. But you never know how long it's going to take for a player to get back into that sort of rhythm. And I think he's adapted quite quickly. It was a really good performance. And in a way, yes, it does feel like a new signing. And, Nix is coming back, and that'll feel like another new signing. And it's really great to have the depth that we do in center back position now. I just think it's going to bode well for us throughout the year.